Hello, my name is Nan, and you're listening to the Why Blood, Same Blood podcast, where we get unseriously curious about cinema. Most of my musings, start with a shower thought, literally or figuratively. And this time it was while listening to this bit that we just heard at the start. It is, of course, Sariya Tavara and Rapatu from 12B, a classic Jyotika Harris combination. And my thought was Ennama lyrics, because growing up, this song had a big impact on me. It might be a stretch, but I can safely say it's like awakened something in me in Ramari. ஒரு குட்டி digression, more cinema part that I grew up listening, it was almost mindlessly, but it was so repeatedly because it plays in Sun Music, SS Music, all channels, vanla, autola, and the madri. So I by-hearted the lyrics even without realizing what the lyrics were or even understanding the lyrics. So tappa paadittu until one day it just dawns on you like, wait a minute. And for this song also, one day it sort of dawned on me. Maybe I was doing that, or I had the urge to. I feel like that's the beauty of this particular song, that it explores a woman's instinctive desires, or like a young woman, a girl's desire, but it sort of cleverly poses a rhetorical question back to society as Sariya Tavara. I would just quote the entire song at this point, but my favorite line, and it still gives me goosebumps, is fun fact, I used to tappa sing this as millennium piranda pinne melinangal udavadu. Like I used to think, oh, like, superiority won't fly anymore. Or I also thought it's like a wordplay of male inangal, like we don't need men anymore types, but I was very wrong. It is just melinangal, and that itself is a very powerful line. And the thought that I had was, if Yanama lyrics and இந்த மாதிரி லிரிக்ஸ் கடைசியா எப்போ வந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு, and I could not recollect a song like that or a heroine song like that in many years, and I don't say it lightly. இந்த காலத்துல there aren't that many in quality or quantity, and the further we go back in time, there were more of these, the many ways in which women sang. And by women, of course, I mean the leading ladies, the heroines, all of that. But of course, those were still an extension of society. They were a reflection of how an average woman or a girl next door would think or should be thinking. It was at least instigating them, inspiring them, or at the very least pumping them up type of thing. That's what was so cool about those songs. Speaking of millennium, the dawn of the 2000s was a very important time in Tamil cinema and like Tamil culture. So many songs, and I'm not saying just women songs, but there were a lot of these youth films, for the lack of better term, films like Run, Minnale, Dum Dum Dum, Boys, Kadalar Dinam, April Madathil, and so many more just off the top of my head. Like all of these films and the songs within them, they sort of reference this dawn of the new millennium, like ushering in a new age where we are doing things differently, we are rebelling. That was the theme. And within this, of course, there were a lot of women led songs and singing their version of it. This was like the modern Penn, the t-shirt Penn, t-shirt, jeans, pota pen, chudidar poiduchu. So it was these common themes and phrases that were used. And the vagaila, some of the songs were new படத்துல வந்து சிம்ரனோட If you wanna come along and sing a song, cause this is how we do it when you're having fun. That was one which is great. There is Kangalal Kaidasai, that strange Priyamani movie which had Kadal Virus, which is like a goated. I feel like it's one of the underrated album of Rahman, only because the film is not that popular, but the album is so good. It's part of that Kadir's trilogy. Kadal Virus was a similar genre. And then there is this other song. It's from Arasun or Padam, which is Simran, Sarath Kumar. In that there is a song. For me, that song is iconic because it almost is like a Teredi Vidiyal, but make it female, because she's in classic Simran outfit. And the era she sported that look a lot in 2000, 2001s and the time. So on the modern classic Simran look, but they'll be dancing in like a temple, agraharam type of setting. Paatu konjam unserious ah da irukum. Adula oru line irukku which is which I feel like sums up this entire category that we just spoke about, this redefined modern woman. This was more than just trend setting, it's almost culture shifting. So that was pretty cool. And women were also singing these in the 80s and the 90s. In fact, even more of this. This is what women want, so listen up type of thing. In the 80s and the 90s, the first song that comes to mind is that song sets the tone of the film. She does not want Kalyanam, she does not want Kuti, Kalyanam Kutila Venda. Don't do this to us in our, at that point, late teens or early 20s. So I truly think those women walked so we could run away from marriage, and all of Magalir Matum songs. And then in the 90s, there was from Gentlemen that had some lines that stick to me. So that was pretty cool as well. Another song I want to talk about is it's very niche. When I say niche, it's the premise is very unusual. Like the two women of different age, they are out and about town, they want to explore Madras in a premise. In the second half of the 90s, we had Mr. Romeo Lane, the famous Pista, which has Nagma, and that had the full song. She keeps talking about this ultra modern woman that she is. One of the coolest songs, I think, is in Shankar's Indian. And of course, I think Andavar sprinkle is there, which is visualization is pretty experimental. This is still a song about a woman or women, but then Kamal is also in interesting get-ups and interesting steps. That's a very happening song, but also very iconic song in the same genre of, oh, this is the new woman, or this is what the modern urban woman wants. What is very exciting in all of this is they had so much range, of course, voice wise also, but it's more about what they sang about. Like there was so much depth to it and breadth to it. They were profound, but they were also very fun. If you see the costumes, see the dance, the places they are being, it is so happening and is super entertaining to just watch. And a lot of these songs, na YouTube la paakumbodhu, or the thing that we hear, it is a very organic thought to think, oh, those songs were ahead of its time, but I really don't think so. I think that that was the time. இப்பதான் நம்ம கொஞ்சம் பின்னோக்கி போயிட்டு இருக்க மாதிரி it feels. இப்போ வந்து பெண்ணை பத்தி பாட்டு வேணும்ன்ற மாதிரி I'm feeling, but back then it was the norm. Quite cool, and like women were taking the lead, they were being feisty, expressing their wants, needs, desires like they had never before. It was super inspiring, I think. And on the flip side, when I say flip side, just in terms of the tonality, there was also these soft, more gentle songs like which was Me Madam, there is Pupoku Mose, there's Chinna Chinna Ase. I see the pattern. And then fast forward a couple of years, you had from Amarkalam, it's by Shalini. This is a very interesting premise because she is singing the song and the lyrics go like, and I'm finally doing it, but she apologizes to like these different singers. So the conceptualization of that song is super interesting. After that, in the 90s, one other song I want to mention was Puva Puva from Puvallam Ketipar. I keep getting confused between Puvallam Ketipar and Puvallam Unvasam because of Jyotika. But yeah, Puva Puva is a song that is like rooted in nature. Many of these songs are about nature. It's either how much they adore it or how nature is used as a metaphor. Almost it's like the expansiveness of nature. I'm sounding like these English teachers who try to like interpret these poems. Anyway, all of this were like very coming of age with nature. Or Ilamai Paruvam and the either. I don't know if it's a stretch to say, but some of these songs will make these movies pass Bechdel tests just because of the existence of these songs. I mean, of course, I don't know if Bechdel tests take into account musicals or these songs, but you know what I mean. It's still like women are just singing about themselves, their desires, and not about a man. So that was pretty cool. Even in the 80s, 90s, and the way when I think this is sort of evolved into the more popular heroine introduction songs as we have come to know them. Because ipo Oho Meham Vandado is a heroine introduction song, but in the more mass commercial sense, I think it gained popularity in the 2000s. And of course, the most popular one being that definitely caused a shift. Soon after we had from Kandukonde, that was Aishwarya Rai being Aishwarya Rai, and that was super iconic. And that film also had Kannamuchi Enada, which we'll talk about in a next segment. And there was Shalala, Shalala from Gilly. Some of these songs tend to be a little like cutesy, borderline loose ponnu vibes that people were milking a lot. Especially Shalala, because it had a little bit of she'll say Chutti Penn, and she's running around with kids. Of course, I love Trisha in that film, and I love the film, but that particular song is not my most favorite heroine introduction song, if I can say that. And there was Nannare from Guru at a later point, also the greatness of Aishwarya Rai. And then two songs I want to mention, which is there are two Attiri Battiri. Okay, Onnu vandu this is from Ayya. This was an introduction of Nayanthara, and it was her first film. So I think that was her main introduction into films song. And there is from Dum Dum Dum, which is Jyotika again. Fast forward a couple of years, there was Gajini. Gajini has the newish wave, I would say. Ratullah, I want to call out because it was very refreshing. Asin in that film is this typical heroine trope. She'll have slow-mo shots, little bit of this cutesy girl, this thing when she, lies in the beginning and all of that. And then she literally is the girl who helps Kaiya pudichu cross panni vidra idu is her. So I would love to actually understand from A.R. Murugadas why he chose a more fierce song for her entrance, because I know from Murugadas's interviews, I can see that he thinks about these things. So I'm very curious why he chose this song, and I love that song, of course. And then the same film has another heroine introduction song, which is it's another banger female intro song. Again, a side note I can't help but call out is Kajini is peak commercial cinema, and it sort of redefined it also, because in a mainstream Tamil cinema where Gajini Nenacha, definitely Surya and his get up and everything comes to mind. It's a film where the title is based on the villain, and it has two heroine entry songs. So it almost makes me think, was the Tamil hero a little more secure back then? I think that's a topic for another day. Another type of music is women embracing and vocalizing their desires, including sexuality, about making the move, all of that. Anda Varisaila, some of the songs were that's literally a woman asking and a man saying no. That's a very interesting dynamic. In fact, even when we start a little back in time, we had back to the 90s, we had from Tirida Tirida, and the same year, another iconic Aishwarya Rai song, which was given current context, those songs seem even greater than what they were. Probably at that time, avlo scene la illendra mari, maybe the makers felt, probably the women who were in it, all of that, it felt like, oh, that was not a big deal. But now, in current world context, I feel like it has a lot more weightage. The queen of the genre is Ramya Krishnan, because I could think of nearly 6 songs that she has done in no particular order, but she did. She did. And 2 of these songs are slightly different, because most of the songs that I've mentioned so far are all just women sung or women led. Vai Raja Vai and Minsara Kanna from Panchadantram and Padayappa respectively. It is still about her desires and what she wants. She's the center stage. Vai Raja Vai and Minsara Kanna, like the range there is, both in terms of her as an actor, what the song brings, what the song says, all of that. And one other fun song in this category, when I say fun, for me it's fun to recollect it, which is Narasimhandra Padatla, which is the Vijaykant Narasimhala. There is here also she speaks about her desire. She vocalizes a lot of it. Fun fact, that song was very traumatizing for me. I don't know why. Like, I think it's the picturization. It's very fast paced. It cuts to these lion faces. I mean, of course, Narasimha, for me, that was a bit scary, but she's gorgeous in it, as always. Another song, moving away from Ramya Krishnan, but it's still in the sexuality and the desire genre, is it's one of my all-time favorite songs. And then we have a few more of these more melodious from Minnale. There is from Alai Pavide. To my earlier point, I kept singing all these songs without really not understanding, like I wouldn't pay attention to the lyrics. But ipada someone, of course, in social media brought out this pretty weird, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. Every part, like there are so many parts that I'm not going to mention, but every single thing that is in my list is super fun. And the funnest one is, I feel like it is the girly anthem. Ippa I'm seeing so many people on reels on Girls Trip Day. They recreate it. It just works on so many levels because, Hostel, the girls are all there. They have singing. It has the iconic Anuradha and Rehana voices, and the lyrics are such a vibe, and it is so fun to sing it. Fun தவிர வேற ஒரு வார்த்தை நான் கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். There is also from I forget the film's name, and there is of course that qualifies as an item song, but I still appreciate that it is a bit of a women falling victim to male gaze. And interestingly, it reminds me of when Samantha, when she did Oo Anta or Oo Solriya in Tamil, she was like, it is sort of a take on male gaze. I thought, okay, May Masam is also, was that an attempt? On the Galatiliye, were they doing that in Ramadri? I felt. The other category, the last one I want to talk about in this episode at least, is women singing so fondly about men. A lot of, oh, my love life, what I think about it, where is my husband, where is my knight in shining armor, or the most commonly used word in this category is kanna, right from till kannan is poondu valadit irukkaru. There is also from Agni Natchatram. There is literally about Thirumanam, which is this is Puvellam Unvasam, and Sami la vandu. And like I said before, from Kandukondain. Konjo a little later in time, we had from what film is that? Theerada Vilayattu Pillai lendu Kannannu pesittu Theerada Vilayattu Pillai marandutem. 3 different type of women singing about their individual characteristics and thereby their different sort of desires. Recently I got to watch that perform at UN concert in Chennai, which was very, very fun for me because I love that song. Then much more recent times, I think a woman singing about her ekam or yearning was from Vendu Tanindadu Kaadu. There is a lot of overlap, okay? I want to give that disclaimer. There's a lot of overlap in these categories, but it is just like how my brain sort of slotted them to entertain this like thought experiment of everything we were singing about in the categories. There are also a few that I didn't cover. Sattam Podade Lendu, there is, and then another girl anthem, the iconic one, which is, I didn't really categorize. But what I did do is I made a playlist of all the songs in any or more of these genres, categories we spoke about, and then a lot more. I probably covered like 10-20 max in this episode, but I made a playlist, and as of recording this episode, there are 120 songs in that playlist, and most will fit into one of the categories or more than one. But there is a song like, how do you categorize that masterpiece? So this is the playlist. I will share the playlist. Kadasila, and I was thinking about this category very hard and whether I should talk honorary mention or dishonorary mention. Men singing about women, it's still about women in a good way, celebratory way, not in the lines of Adida Vale or other soup songs. Maybe I can talk about the examples. One is from Kadal Desam. The start of the song, it starts slow, slightly pandery if you think about it. Actually, once it picks up pace, it gets a lot more fun. The main reason I love that song is every woman, and a lot of women are shown in that song. Every one of their outfit is so chic and so effortlessly beautiful. அந்த காலத்து பெண் அப்படிதான் இருந்திருப்பாங்கன்ற, it was proper visualization and representation. I felt I love listening to that song, but in fact I love watching it a lot more. And we have from Nerukku Ner. Why I'm mentioning some of these songs is it's nice to be celebrated in that way in Ramadri. And then 2 Unnimenan songs in this category, which is from Shah Jahan and Rhythm Lendu. There is, it's about women, but it's so tasteful for the most part. And the king of this segment or this category is, I think, Gautam Menon. He is always like, I will describe women, I will talk about women. The first thing, the most popular in this category, I would say, is from Kaka Kaka. In fact, that's the reason I didn't mention this in the heroine entry songs. Jyotika's popular one, Megam Karkathi's one, this is also one, but this is not women's song. It's not from her perspective. So I didn't want to mention it in this category. And then so many more from in the 90s. One fun mention here is from Jeans. It's a very interesting premise. It is not a generic song because it's about an older woman and how her grandkids are saying, you should enjoy, and she's out and about in Hollywood and all that fun stuff. It is ultimately about a woman. The range we had about women singing and the range in which women were sung about was also pretty vast. But again, this category of men singing about women can be tricky because very soon they can become problematic too. But hold that thought. I want to circle back on the problematic thought. We cannot talk about female songs and songs about women without talking about female creators in the space, or at least acknowledging the lack thereof. I think all of the songs we spoke about and that are in the playlist are all composed by a male, I can safely say, and most are written by them too. There are only a handful of female lyricists. In the Galatla, I know only two female lyricists, which is Tamarai and Kuti Revati. And I know Tamarai's work a lot more because of her collaboration with GBM and Harris. Adinala female lyricists da vandu penna patti ezhudano or avanga da vandu vaazha vekkanumnu na sollala. Sollavum koodadu, because the minute you do that, I feel like they will get sidelined. But women creators should be in the mainstream. Otherwise, we would not have gotten like an Anjala or a Nenje. Coming back to the problematic point, I feel like the farther we go, there are more songs in quality and quantity, and the bar has been declining. The bar is now so low that anything is better than nothing. Upper, it was the norm. It felt almost like, yeah, this is what we do. Producers and filmmakers dedicate budget, screen time to shoot female lead only songs and provide that space, literally and figuratively. But now we don't even have screen space for women in a world which is increasingly like violence filled and testosterone driven. I'm saying bring back the singing about us, or let us sing about ourselves. Then we can talk about the issues with it. That bridge we'll cross when we get there. Why did that space even go away is my gripe with it, and why it is so important. Like I said, it used to be the norm, right? This was not about, oh, we need female representation. It was just there. Like, why did it go away? Because society la cinema as an art form has not lost importance. In fact, it's growing. More of us are watching movies, and even with short form content and social media content, cinema remains undefeated. We still love going to the cinemas. There is also a shift of people appreciating analog art forms a lot more. So cinema is not going anywhere. Cinema's importance is growing. But cinema kulla can young women and girls look to for inspiration, or not even inspiration. Like, can they have fun? Can they look for fun? Can they look for like, these women are being dramatic for no reason? This is a bit of me. This is as flawed as me. And the Marina, I don't think so. The impact Sariya Tavara and If You Wanna Come Along or even Mala Mala had on someone like me, I don't know if kids have it these days. I'm just like, oh, they should have it. Yeah, I think these songs, they don't have to go back in time to watch it. And some of them could also evolve for current age. Just because it's nostalgic and we like listening to it, that needn't be the only source. Simply put, a couple of years ago, even Rahman crowdsourced an updated version of Take It Easy Urvasi. அந்த மாதிரியாவது ஏதாச்சும் பண்ணுங்கன்ற மாதிரி it feels. இந்த காலத்து சினிமால womenக்கான இது வந்து it's either trying too hard or they're not trying at all. So all I'm saying is we had a good thing going back then. Why did it go away? So bring it back. I'm starting to sound like that party in Aatichu. To which you might say, and I will say, so thank you so much for listening. I will drop the playlist. Do check it out and let me know if I have missed anything. That playlist is just all songs women sung, or like it's about women, not the one that men singing about women. Adile 120 songs irukku, and hopefully there's more. Let me know, and I will see you on the next one.